Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's weekly energy boost. My name is Elisheva, and I am here with Eitan, and we are excited to share with you wisdom and Kabbalistic teachings around, and I love this title, Just Because You Can Doesn't Mean You Should. This week's energy and this month's energy is really giving us an opportunity to examine how we do things, who we're taking guidance from, what the best use of our resources are, and how to maximize not our productivity, but actually our purposefulness. And I know I can use some inspiration in this department, and I'm excited to share all of this wisdom with all of you as well. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most practical and powerful tools from the teachings of Kabbalah. And every episode ends up offering up wisdom and tools that can be used any week of the year, any year of your life. And specifically, the combination of the weekly portion plus the influence of the full moon this month. And the full moon, this is actually a special one because it's recognized as a holiday, as a new year for the plant kingdom. And we will also talk about the influence of that and how to best take advantage of it as well. So Eitan, where should we begin?
So let's begin with the holidays of the trees, which is Sunday night and Monday, the full moon of the month of Aquarius. And what's so special about it? How does it relate to our life? How does it relate to the topic of expanding our ability to be more purposeful without drowning with I have to do, I don't have time, I don't have the energy, it's too much. What is the balance there? So it's interesting, even the force of gravity of our planet. If gravity will be just gravity, the middle of the earth is drawing and attracting everything to be attached to it all the way, then we as humans won't be able to walk and step above ground. Trees will not be able to grow, but there is a balance. There's a balance between the force of gravity. Is it the balance of the force that's going against gravity? So if we look at the trees, which are so essential, plants, trees, vegetation, are so essential to our planet physically, because the inner characteristic of the trees is to go in a very balanced way against the force of gravity. In one hand, anything that is physical gravitate towards downward, but trees continuously, according to the Kabbalists, the energy of the tree, central column, is the power to really overcome that force of desire to receive for oneself alone, which is energy of gravity, and to balance it by, I want to share, going against my natural tendency. And also Kabbalistically, the green color represents that balance energy. So while every color has an energy and vibration, the green color represents that force of I want, but I choose to overcome. And that two forces, I want, I'm not suppressing it, but I choose to overcome. It's actually the source of balance in everyone's life. And how these principles is connecting to what you said, and also connecting to the portion. Here is the Israelites about to manifest the Torah in Mount Sinai, the 10 utterances, and Jethro, the father-in-law of Moses, that coming totally outside of the camp of the Israelites, is coming with some suggestion to Moses how to lead the people. In one hand, you speak about the most important thing is consciousness, it's love, it's connection with the Creator. But here is a guy that this portion named after him, the portion that it's all the story of Revelation in Mount Sinai, is the one that advising Moses about what type of structure do you need in order to truly being able to lead the people. He told him, Moses, if you want to actually lead everyone and control every situation and every problem, while you have the purest intention, you'll never be able to be effective in running. So actually, in the first time in the Torah is actually helping us to understand how do you merge pure purpose, pure intention, pure heart with structures, and structures means boundaries. Structures means this yes, this no. How do you balance these two forces? Kabbalistically, if you just come in this world, pure intention, pure heart, without structure, you'll never manifest. If you just come with structure, organization, what's right, what's wrong, without pure heart, you'll never get it. You need to merge these two forces, as the Kabbalists call it, love and awe, or the union between love and fear. What is that balance that creating the vessel for expansion? Think about your own life as a parent, as a business person, as a person that would like to express your purpose and manifest it in this world in a successful way. How do you improve yourself as a person? Not just a little bit. Get closer to your dream. How do you balance that? And that's what the discussion, like the trees as a major balance that bring us so much light. How do we find this balance? So where would you start, Elisheva?
Well, this is a lesson for me that I personally can't hear enough because, and maybe Moses was a Pisces, I'm a Pisces, I get it. The idea of, and maybe to answer your question first, it's you really have to know yourself, right? Because if you're the type of person that's with, only heart or mostly heart and just wants to do good and just wants to add value and just wants to serve and is inspired and enlightened without that structure, like you said, there's burnout, there is suffering, there is failure, insecurity, right? Because that type of person, especially when you're the one with the vision behind what you want to manifest. And of course, no one else has your vision. Even if you draw pictures or you create PowerPoints, you'll never completely give over your vision. The desire to do it all, and not from an ego place necessarily, it can also be, I don't trust anyone else. Nobody else is going to be able to see what I see, and therefore I have to be the one to manifest it. That lack of balance, right? That's one side of the spectrum where, again, good intentions. It's not rooted in, I want my name to be known around the world. It's, I see clearly, and I need to be the one to manifest it if it's going to look the way I know it can or feel the way I know it can. I think there's a lot of other people, right, and many in between, but the other end of the spectrum is there's a way to do things. There is a right way and a wrong way. We need to do it the right way, regardless of who it hurts, how it feels, what it looks like, and finding that balance for each person is about knowing which category you fall into, right? The work for the person who's more heart and vision and is definitely around this question. And it's, I probably learned it from you many, many years ago, is this for me? right? Is this what I'm about to do, the project I'm going to take on, the responsibility I'm asking for, even if it's a class to teach or a group to work with, is this uniquely mine? Is it meant for me? Am I the one who is meant to do it? And I feel like that's something that we learned from Moses also is he didn't, if it didn't need to be him, he didn't want to do it. Right? He was actually trying to pass it over to as quite frequently to others because he didn't, it's that almost that, if I if I do it myself, or I'd rather do it myself and mess it up than trust someone else to do it. And being in that place, that's not Moses, that's me. Being in that place of I want to do it. I want to make sure it gets done right. Or the opposite, and someone else should do it. I can't. It's not going to look good. I'm not good enough. I don't have the qualities. I'm not capable. Either way, it's ego. And that was a really big lesson for me also in my beginning days as a Kabbalah student. It was, what do you mean that's ego? I don't believe in myself. I'm not sure I could do it. But the emphasis on the self is the same. Whether you think you can or you think you can, you're right. And you're full of yourself for being so focused on it. So I think that part of the gift of going against our gravity this week, and that's really what, if you learn which end of the spectrum you fall on, going against your personal gravity means moving either toward the heart, the intention, the selflessness, or moving toward structure, delegation, teamwork, organization to help to create that, like you were talking about, manifestation, not just getting it done, but getting it done in the best way possible for everyone, including you.
Okay, beautiful. So practical for all of us. So for example, if you're a person that your natural tendency is to say yes to everyone because you would love to please, because you'll feel bad if you're not going to say yes, because you care, you need to question, is it possible that extra yeses that I'm saying to every request, it can be my children, it can be at work, it can be do more, is it actually a cause for why I feel some anxiety, some imbalance? Is it somewhat? Some resentment? Is it possible? Is it possible that actually saying no, is it the right thing to do? Of course, the intention is being more purposeful, being more giving. A lot of people think, oh, it's a time to take care of myself. I have to say no now. Saying no, say no to your own children sometimes, don't you think that is actually helping them? So saying yes and saying no, both of them has to be part of one purpose. Giving, growth, yourself and others, elevation, manifesting greater potential. And that's the question we need to ask yourself. Yes or no? But both of them, the yes and the no, has to be full-hearted. So, you want to grow your business and you're constantly struggling. Okay, so I need to do more and I need to do more. And then you feel stress. Wow. So I have less time for my kids, I have less time for my marriage, I have less time for my person taking care of myself, personal care. So is that's what I meant to grow and to expand? Pause for a second. The Creator wants to give us every day expansion in every area in our life. Is it possible that maybe you need to do a little bit less yourself and open yourself to delegate and let go of control and open yourself to attract the right people that can take the role, that can free you to do what you meant and what you good at? And it's all balance. Because if you're 17 years old and from day one you say, I don't want to do anything, I'm going to hire people around me, maybe your balance is first do. Do everything. Learn all the skills. Learn what is rejection. So, what is that balance? Balance means going against the force that I'm gravitate towards. When you say no, it's not because you're angry and you're upset. You say no because that's how you grow and you help other people to grow. Boundaries with love.
I think that that's part of the what Jethro gave to Moses is if you're reactive, it's not a boundary, right? A boundary is something proactive. You don't wait until you're overwhelmed, until you're resentful, until you're anxious to take a step back and reorganize or reprioritize or ask for help. You proactively, and I think this is the connection to the energy of the month as well, because being that this is the month of Aquarius and Aquarians tend to have that, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to pave the new road. I'm going to create this breakthrough. I'm going to, what's the word? Like break that glass ceiling myself. And I'm going to get to the top of the mountain. It's so important for us to examine our approach, even to look at your schedule and say, is this doable? Is it reasonable? Is there a better way to do this and to manage my own energy? Because you may be able to do what's on your, I use the example often when I'm working with someone and they're in that cycle of push, 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 burnout, push, 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 laying, in bed for 2 weeks because your body just tells you can't do this. It's, I physically have the hours in the day to meet 15 people. Do you want to be my 15th meeting at the end of the day? Right? Like thinking in those terms, what kind of value am I adding? Is it possible? Yes. But that doesn't mean it's the best use of my time, my energy, my resources. It doesn't mean it's the best way to serve whoever I'm in service of. So that difficult conversation, and it's probably more difficult in a month like Aquarius because we all have this energy of let's make a breakthrough. Let's go all the way. Let's do it. But wait a second. How long can you push toward that breakthrough before you break down? That's the real work. We call it restriction, right? I want to go all the way, but that's not necessarily the best way to achieve what I want. Pausing and asking, what is the best way? Who's the best person? What's the best timing? And not just going, again, as far as you can go, and then looking back and asking, should I have done this differently? Should I ask for help? This is really the gift of this week, is to create those proactive boundaries, which is really the formula for long-term wins, long-term successes, not only for you, but for whatever you're trying to manifest or create. You want it to be sustainable. And that's really the secret to doing it.
Yes, what you're sharing actually made me remember that I used to have the approach, like you said, in order to create the biggest impact as Kabbalah teacher, I need to have as many classes during the day and at nights, from morning to night. And then I realized that for me, sometimes has to be the balance that less is more. That I realized that when I'm in the right mindset, ideas that comes to me and the creative ideas that comes to me can multiply 10 times what I'm doing now. And each one of us needs to actually feel and read yourself relative to yourself and realize, wow, actually, I need to create a little bit space, not to do less, to do more, but to do more doesn't mean I'm physically doing more. Because think about it, the creative is endless force. So I want to allow the endless gradually to expand, because in life we meant to do more and more and more. It doesn't mean doing physically more and more and more. And doesn't mean doing the same things more and more and more. Even when you age, you're supposed to be more effective Kabbalistically in going against gravity, but doesn't mean to do the same amount of physical work. So each one of us, by letting go our natural tendency in going against gravity, create the space to attract the right people, create the space to attract the right energy, to create the space to attract greater vision. If your natural tendency is laziness, of course, maybe for you, you need to do more and more and more. But it's the balance that all of us needs to find in a daily basis. If you just structure, 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 allow mess, allow risks. If you just risks, no structure, let's see what will happen tomorrow, then you're not allowing, you're not creating a vessel for miracles to happen. Is the union between two, which is something that all of us working on ourselves to improve, that create the ability to channel endlessly. The best example is body and soul. Our goal is to be soulful. Nevertheless, the soul is in the body. And the only way you become more soulful in this world, if you express soulful action, loving action, kind action, growing action, study action, through your body, through your mouth, through your hands, through your legs, through your actions. So isn't it a waste of time to sleep? Isn't it a waste of time to eat? Why am I pausing right now? I want to be soulful. But in this world, to truly express my soul through the body, I have to give the energy and the time and the care to my body as well. Am I so much self-absorbed with taking care of my body? That can be, maybe it's imbalance. Am I so much just soul, 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 the body doesn't mean anything? Who cares to go to the doctors? I'm trusting the miracles. It's also a problem. So in every area in our life, we have a cosmic opening this week to find the union, soul, body, purpose, structure. What you do, what you delegate. Always creating the space for more.
I love that. And it's funny because I wanted to bring up the challenge between, but we're here to become beings of the desire to receive for the sake of sharing. So what do you mean I need to pause? What do you need? What does it mean I need to do less in order to do more? And you address that so beautifully. Before we send everybody off into the week, I wanted to ask you to share with us a little bit about the course that you're opening up this week in New York.
Oh, yes. So this week, this coming Tuesday, February 3rd, on 7 p.m., I will teach the fundamental, the most powerful course of Kabbalah. We call it Kabbalah 1, which is manifesting your limitless potential, which usually I'm starting in person once a year. So I feel blessed. I thought many of these courses, but every time I'm inspired because it's about the purpose of life. What's unique about this course? I'm collaborating with other incredible people. I have Monica Berg, which is the co-director of the Kabbalah Center, and she's amazing in the topic of relationship. So we'll have a one class dedicated about love and relationship and transformation, in that their internal transformation that will show up externally. I will have Melissa Wood Tapperberg, which she's student of the center for many years, and also in the field, entrepreneur in the field of wellness. And she will be a guest speaker of mine in one of the topics as well. I will have Eugene Rem, which is in the hospitality field, owns restaurants, studying the center for 20 years. Recently, we together filmed a masterclass, which is in the Kabbalah.com, about success with soul. So we will speak, how do you integrate these principles into the day-to-day business? So both of us will have a talk together. So it's something that it's available in person and recommend very much. You can look at the link. If you can join, space is limited. We're getting there. So we'd love to see you. Register in advance.
And if people are listening after Tuesday night, can they still register and join if they missed the first class?
Yes, they'll be able to register and get the recording of the first class.
And then join for week 2.
Yes.
It's very exciting. We don't always talk about what we do in these in-person events because we have such a global audience, but this is such a unique opportunity. And I know we do have a lot of listeners in New York City. So if you've taken Kabbalah 1, you know the power of it. So if you have friends also that you want to begin to experience this wisdom, and they live they're able to travel to New York City once a week, it is a phenomenal opportunity to get started. We will put the link in the description of this episode, as well as on weeklyenergyboost.com, where you can also search our archives, send us a message, and click the donate button to support Weekly Energy Boost. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, where by following us there, you can receive even more content to support you in doing what we speak about every week. But as always, the greatest thing you can do in this moment is to share this episode. And the more people that are holding those healthy boundaries and focusing on the process more than the goal, I think this world is going to be a much better place to live in. So thanks for being with us, and we'll see you next time on the Weekly Energy Boost.